How's it going, everyone? The next game I'm going to cover is, if you're a fisherman, you might like this game a little bit. It's called Freshwater Fly. As you can see, it is ages 14 plus, players 1 to 4, playtime is 40 to 90 minutes. Let's check out Board Game Geek real quick and see what the rankings and stuff are. All right. Overall rank is 2,388. And strategy rank is 1066. This game was released in 2019. The community says it's best for between 1 and 3 players. And the weight of it out of 5 is a 2.4. Well, the object of the game of this is pretty much you are you are a fisherman and you're trying to catch fish. Um, to do that is when the game starts, you'll have each player will pick their player board. Um, Down here are your what you're trying to. These are some of your end game points that you're trying to get at the end. Each player board is different between here, and then you have community objectives for points here, so everybody can go after these. Or if it's just you, you're going after your own. At the beginning of the game, you have these lures, all different colors and stuff. You're able to choose whatever color you want. It doesn't matter. They're both double-sided, so there's 2 colors per one. So um, let's go with a white one. And whenever you pick your color, you put the lure in right there. And then whoever is determined as the first player gets you have dice, and you roll the dice. And the beginning of the game is pretty much these dice. It's a dice drafting game. So the player that gets to go first picks whatever dice they want out of the pool of dice here. I don't remember exactly how many dice are for player count. I know 2 to 3 players is a certain amount of dice, and then 4 players is a certain amount of dice also. Down here is the track. You can see that these are both down here. You can barely see it, but there's double-sided. One side is for 2 to 3 players, and it tells you how many little circular discs here you need to put on each section. 2 to 3 players is 4 here, and then you flip it over, you got a 4 player. Most of them in the 4 player is also 4, but there are a couple of them that have 5. So the object of the game is to, like I said, if you have whatever color you pick for your lure is where you're trying to fish to get fish on where the white ones are. So the white ones, these can correspond to the rows here, or sorry, I'm sorry, to the columns here. So you can catch a fish into this column or a fish into this column, or you can go all the way down in the fish column right there. And to determine on where you're going to pick is from the dice up here. Um, Whenever there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. So let's say you pick this 6 right here. So then what you're able to do is take that over by yourself and put it over by yourself, and you're able to cast in the 6th column here. It doesn't matter which fish you go for. You can go for any fish that you want. Obviously, you're gonna probably want to try to get whatever points will get you more points there or over here. And then you take this thing and you figure out which fish you want to cast at. Let's say you want to go to this brown trout right here. Um, so what you do is you put that on the brown trout, and what occurs when you wherever you initially put this, you get one chance out of 4 to land the fish. Um, each time you cast, you shuffle this deck, or there's this deck too. There's two different kinds. They're the same. It's just that there's two different kinds of. Oh, imagine that, they're both in the back there. Then there's two different kinds of fish. It doesn't really matter. There's also, I know this gets a little tedious that you have to shuffle these every single time someone casts. Um, there actually is an app for it that it does it for you. I have downloaded the app for it. It's really easy to use, and I honestly recommend using the app over the card shuffling because it just takes a long time just to keep shuffling over and over again. Then like I said, then these cards are your player aids for each player. You got 4 of them. But anyways, so you cast here and you get one chance to strike the fish. So you, like I say, you shuffle them up, and then the player, I don't remember if it's to the left or to the right, reveals the first card. If it's a fish, you get it. If it's one of these cards, it's a miss. So what happens there is you don't get this fish. But what you can do is, if you don't hit on your initial cast, you can drift down the river until I think you can just drift down 2 more spaces to catch a fish. You can only go. I think you can only go. I don't remember if it's just sideways or a diagonal. I think you can only go a diagonal down. Or actually, I think it's both. You can go either diagonal or across. So let's say if you were here, you wouldn't be able to go on to this fish because it's not diagonal. You'd only be able to do these. But anyways, since I actually have another white one in this column, I'm actually able to possibly get another fish. But since it's drifting, fish like to go after moving lures pretty much. So what you, in this case, you can pick whichever one you want. Let's go and try to get this choho over here. You put the choho on here, and then since you're drifting down there and you have the same color for on your lure as there is one in this space, you don't reshuffle, but you get 2 strikes now. So you get to pick up 2 cards. And if it's a fish, then you get the fish. Oh, there you go. So there you go. There's the fish. So you get the fish, or you take the block off, and then you bring the fish down over to your reel. You got the 3 different spaces. You got that symbol, that symbol, that symbol, and they're all different. They all have different symbols. So the farther to the right it's going to take longer for you to reel in the fish. So what you want to do, and then after you catch the fish, you want to reset. You want to reset these cards, reshuffle them, and then take the next fish and put it down here. And then, like I said, when you catch the fish, what you want to do is you want to flip it over, and it's going to tell you a little bit more detail. It's going to tell you how many victory points it's worth. So this one's worth 7 points, and then the drag of the fish is 3. I'll get to the drag here in a little bit. You also want to pick up the corresponding circle disc here that was on the same column as that, and then you put that in your reel. You always start with the reel in the 12 o'clock position. And then the next player goes, and then after that player goes, it's your turn again. If you catch a fish next to one of these rock piles, not a diagonal, so it's either just on top or on the sides of it. There's actually little icons on them to let you know that if you're able to take a rock card or not. If you are able to take a rock card, like I was able to because I picked up the fish from there, take it and you flip it over and you put it over by your side, and you can use this throughout the rest of the game. So if you pick up a one die, and of course there's not much, but I'm gonna say one of your objects is to pick up you pick up a one die, you can change that to plus 3 finesse. This is your finesse right here, so you'd be able to go up 3 spaces, 1, 2, and 3. So after the other player goes and it's your turn again, what you want to do is you draft another die. Most of the time in this game, the higher the dice, the better, especially after you land a fish. Sometimes you want to get a lower dice if you're going to get a certain fish down here. Then you go and you can use one of those, a 1 or a 2. But mainly in this game, the higher the dice, the better it is. You'd be able to move more. So let's say the other player took the 6, so there's a 5 here. So you take the 5, put it over by yourself too, and then you'd be able to move this counter 5 different spaces. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. When it gets back to, when it makes a full revolution, you'd be able to slide this down 1 space. And then you would do it again. Once it gets back to the 12 o'clock position again, you move it down another space. You do it again, and then you catch the fish. But here's the kicker part of it. This one has three drag on it, which means it's going to take 3 of its own dice away from you, or 3 pips on the dice from you. So you picked up the 5. It has 3 drag on it. So technically you'd only be able to move this only 2 spaces. So obviously 5 minus 3 is 2. So you'd be able to move 2 different spaces. And then you would leave it there. I'll go over what each one of these are. If you would land on this space, you would be able to take your drag token that everybody gets, and you get to put it over the fish, which that makes the fish have no drag. So let's say you picked up another 5 next turn, you'd be able to go around 5 different times if you had the drag marker on your fish. On this option, if you land on this option, which I did, you can go up here and grab one of these bonus tokens. You can pick it up, and then you get to use this whenever, I believe it's your turn. You can use this whenever you want. Like this one is, you can use your drag token and put it on your fish, plus you would gain 1 finesse. Once you use this one time, once you use this thing, you flip it over and you put it back up on top of it. Okay? And then if you would land on this section, as you can see, it's plus 1 finesse. So wherever your finesse counter is, you move up 1 finesse if you land on this. If you would land on this space, if you're going after a diamond fish, you would actually go back 1 and land on 1 plus 1 finesse. If you were going after one of the plus symbol ones, you automatically move another space, and then you'd be able to catch the fish on that one. And that's pretty much it. A couple other things. Whenever a round is done, the track goes down 1. All these go down 1. This goes off, and then these go down 1. Well, just to signify like the fish are on the move. And then this one that was off board comes on to play, and then these get thrown away or off to the side here, and then this goes over here, and then you take from the bag 4 new ones, and you put the 4 new ones on the new token, and you keep doing that over and over and over again. And at the end of the game, whoever has the most fish, I believe don't remember how, whoever has the most fish at the end of the game, or the most victory points, but you can get victory points from the car from there. You can get the victory points from completing these sets, and then whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. And there you go. There you have it. That is Freshwater Fly. I appreciate you guys watching this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care.